Somehow, I keep finding myself returning to talk about Olivia Rodrigo. Anytime I want to talk about something I'm actually passionate about, Olivia Rodrigo and her music just get in my way. But unlike the past 2 times where I indulged the pop genre, this time the video is rooted in country music. So if you're like me and you wake up every Friday morning and turn on the New Music Nashville Spotify playlist, there is a song entitled Driver's License by Dylan Marlowe. I initially thought it was going to be a simple cover, but no. This is a country remix of a critically acclaimed pop song. In case I need to remind you of how I feel about Driver's License, I don't really like this song. Overall, my opinion of it has stayed about the same way in my mind ever since I did that video a few months back. I still don't like what I like, and I still enjoy what I enjoy. It may be a 6 out of 10 song, but it's a 6 out of 10 song I'm very intimate with discussion-wise. But what if you were to make a song aiming to outdo the original, yet it stripped away everything that made that song actually likable? Well then, ladies and gentlemen, you get Dylan Marlowe's Driver's License country version. I think a lot of people inferred from my Driver's License video that if it was a country song, it would be infinitely better. Well, no, that wasn't the point of it at all. My point was that you could find better lyricism and music quality beyond this song, not just in country music. Well, some random small-time country act decided he could make a much better version of the song if he used nouns associated with country music and used steel instead of orchestral accompaniment. The song itself starts out with some simple acoustic guitar playing very basic chords, and then the biggest red flag shows up. This song isn't told in the perspective of Olivia anymore. It's told in perspective of the dude. This song went from being an attempt at a swirling tour de force getting the listener to relate to the emotion this song is trying to convey, to a song trying to get the listener to sympathize with the dude? What? The point of the song is the dude is in the wrong and technically is the villain of the story. This is like how Disney tried to justify Cruella de Vil trying to skin puppies for a coat. Just why? It doesn't make sense, and there is no justification at all. I may not like the original that much, but switching up the perspective doesn't give it any more layers. If anything, it actually detracts from some. It takes away its honesty, because now instead of Olivia Rodrigo putting all this emotion into a random household object representing maturity and a teenager becoming an adult, the song has turned into another I'm sad and I'm going to drive in my truck song. Like, wow, what a great subversion. What a freaking tremendous accomplishment. Driver's License had one tiny thing that made it stand out from the other basic breakup song, and it was how she could put so much pain in common household objects not typically used in songs. Even though I think its execution could have been better by a lot, it still had that admirable trait. But now you have a song that actively wants to be basic. It wants to be about picking up a girl in a truck. It wants to be about hooking up at night, playing your cheap country radio. I'm sorry, but this is 2021, not 2011. No one listens to that music anymore. And the thing is that this could have been something that isn't terrible. Why not approach this from the parody angle and make the song comedic? That actually would have been interesting, more nuanced, and yes, even possibly surpass the original. But no, instead you have an industry plant clout chaser putting the most minimal effort possible into a song like this. This is what I expect Bo Burnham to do if they wanted to make fun of country, and he has, and it's great. But when he does it, it's intended to be humorous. That's not what this song is. It's attempting to be just as deep, just as mature as the original, and it just crashes and burns. The country adjectives are just cringy with the dirt roads in the countryside, jamming to the radio in the moonlight, picking up girls in their trucks, and it's so much worse than how I'm describing it. The bridge is even worse somehow. Even though it removes the F-bomb, which was a real detriment to the original, it keeps turning it into a reject bro country song about hooking up in the back of your good old pick-em-up truck. Yeehaw! Olivia made the song personal to her, a unique situation about herself, and now instead, Dylan Marlowe has turned the song into a basic breakup song just like every other one I hear on country radio, trying to appeal to every demographic with vaguer writing and the most broad appealing imagery. Then there's the vocal delivery, as if he couldn't screw up the song even further. Another thing I forgot to mention in my original video is how the song effectively used a gradual build-up in her vocals. Her vocal performance on it is the one truly exceptional factor in an otherwise okay song. But here, Dylan Marlowe just sounds so awful. His voice is like nails on a chalkboard. He sounds like me when I try to sing songs with a southern accent. It sounds fake. And believe me, I hate when people try to bring up people's authenticity in country music, but here it just sticks out like a sore thumb. The song went from incredibly calculated with its dynamics to boring and pure vanilla extract. You can't even compare or contrast them on a positive level.
Guess you didn't mean what you wrote in that song about me. Guess I didn't mean what I said in that song about us.
See what I mean? And as someone who really enjoys country instrumentation, the steel guitars are an absolute tonal killer. The instrumentation of the original was something I actually enjoyed, but of course, it's another thing that's stripped away. You get the idea. The song detracts from everything that made the original song special. Take a look at Johnny Cash's rendition of Hurt. This song was completely reworked from the ground up, going from an almost angsty song about depression to a song about utter tragedy, legacy. It's often considered the crowning achievement of Johnny Cash. It keeps the central premise of the song, but nearly everything has changed from the delivery, instrumentation, and its tone, all making for something that far surpasses the original nearly every way. Dylan Marlowe didn't do crap. He decided to change up the story of the song by taking away all its personal lyrics, he took away all its unique production, replaced the soaring vocals with an extremely cheap performance. So can you guess how I feel about this one, dear viewer? It's a cash grab song equivalent to a Chinese knockoff using minimal effort to make it look just like the original. I'm giving Driver's License Country version a 4 out of 10. This song just goes to show how making a song country doesn't make it better. It's definitely on my worst list for 2021. Well, that's that. I completed the trilogy of my Olivia Rodrigo videos and hopefully I can put this all to rest. God, I can't believe how I went from calling out Olivia Rodrigo's music to defending it. This song has completely shifted my Olivia Rodrigo paradigm when it comes to Driver's License and Sour in general, which has its own admirable qualities. Thank you for indulging me once more with Driver's License, and good night.